What is up, everybody? Welcome to Kletus Ray's Roadside Service with your host, Kletus Ray. I pointed at myself. You guys can't see me. Uh, we are in Des Moines, Iowa, headed south now. We got loaded. We're good to go. We ate a good lunch here. I woke up today and nothing hurt. It was weird because last night I was dying. I had the massage gun. Got one of them fucking big ass massage gun thingamajiggies, and I had it on my back, my lower back. Oh God, my back was hurting so bad. Massage. I gave it to the kids, and I'm like, do it right there, push as hard as you can. And I don't know. I guess maybe that had something to do with it. And then my jaw, where my toothache is, but my tooth is right here. My jaw is right here, and my jaw is what was. The tooth is also aching, but my jaw also. And then I remembered, I'm pretty sure my wife lied to me because she was like, she called me yesterday morning. She's like, you are a pain in my ass. I'm like, what? She's like, you were snoring louder than anybody could ever even snore. Like, it was ridiculous how loud you were snoring. She's like, I was hitting you while you were sleeping trying to make you shut up. And I'm like, oh, well, that explains why my fucking face hurts so bad. She's like, I didn't hit you in the face. I'm like, listen, you can say whatever the fuck you want, but I'm pretty sure, because my daughter was sleeping in the bed at the same time, and she had a big bowl in case she threw up or whatever. I don't know. She was like, she's going to sleep in the bed with us. I'm like, whatever. She said she hit me with the bowl. And it's a big, nice, like, sturdy bowl. You know the one from Napoleon Dynamite that they try to run over with the van? Yeah, it's not going to hold up to a van, but hit somebody in the face with that motherfucker. I bet you that's how I feel right now. I'm pretty sure. She's like, I didn't hit you in the face. I'm like, you asshole hit me with the bowl while I was sleeping. What? How? What else? I'm pretty sure I got beat in my sleep 2 nights ago, and that's why my face hurts so fucking bad, dude. She promises that she didn't hit me, but I don't know what else. I didn't get hit in the face at all recently. My tooth hurts and my jaw hurts, and it's like the perfect trajectory. I mean, I don't have a mark, but I don't know if I mark. I don't mark that well, I guess. I don't know. She must have smacked the hell out of me with like the bottom, like the thick part of the bowl. Smacked me with that right here. Right here. Oh God, it still hurt. I mean, it didn't hurt this morning because I don't think I got beat in my sleep last night, but the pain is starting to come back. I don't know. I took a bunch of medicine and other fucking shit last night. Put the kids to bed and went to the cupboard where all the medicine shit is, and I was just taking all kinds of shit, and I laid down on the couch, and that's where I woke up. I woke up on the couch. I laid down. I wanted to watch YouTube, but NyQuil had different ideas, I guess. I don't know. I woke up feeling fine though, and I went to bed at a decent time. I went to bed like with the kids at like 8:30. But yes, I think the mystery of my face hurting so fucking bad has been solved, even though she promises she didn't hit me in the head. But maybe that's my back. Maybe my back. Maybe she hit me in the back. I don't know. It feels like somebody, not a sledgehammer, not even like a regular framing hammer, like a small ball peen hammer, smacked me in the back, but not on my spine, which whereas I had surgery, it's like a little bit to the right of that. And I don't know. Maybe she did go in the garage and grab a ball peen hammer and smack the fuck out of me with that. I don't know. I don't know if the bowl would actually do that much damage, because it's like, I don't know, hard pressure and hitting sometimes feels good on my back. I'm a pretty big guy. I can handle a little bit, but I don't know. Maybe a big whack with a small ball peen hammer would definitely make my back kind of feel this way. It got so bad yesterday. I had to grab my pant leg to lift my leg up to get into my truck. And like every time I get up in and out of this semi, I'm taking baby steps. I'm taking double steps, instead of just climbing up in there. I'm taking baby steps, and it's still like every time I lift up my right leg, it like pulls on my back. I don't know. I don't want to sit here and complain about all my problems with you guys. I kind of do, but I'm not gonna. Anyways, that's the state of me right now. I am gonna stop and get some fuel here pretty quickly, actually, and I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna grab another Dayquil or something. My wife says, "Oh, it's your sinuses. Your sinuses is what's hurting." I'm like, it feels like I got hit in the face with a bowl. But what do I know? I'm not a doctor. Neither is she, but I don't know. Rode the bike yesterday. Oh, and I tuned the truck. Even though my body was hurting so bad whenever I was headed home, I got back to the shop and like got everything put away, and I bitched at the boss because these motherfuckers, like, we have a spot where we park our semis, and then all the other trucks and 10-wheelers and whatnot go down into a building or whatever, and all the tankers. But we have a spot for all the dry vans and the double rails and the low boy and everything. And these motherfuckers left 6 foot spacing in between all their trucks. So instead of fitting 5 fucking semis out of the way right where they need to be, you can only fit 4. I'm like, you motherfuckers! I was about to go in there and grab all the keys, and I don't know, probably just like leave the fucking headlights on in all their trucks or something, and be like, you motherfuckers are gonna pay. I was kind of in a no nonsense attitude when I got back to the shop, but I ended up parking in a different spot. Anyways, I went to my pickup truck and I was like, you know what? This thing ran like complete shit. I gotta tune it again. I gotta twist on that distributor, and I gotta take the air intake off and all that shit and climb up into that truck. But I did, and I just turned it. I don't know. I wasn't even like trying to like get it perfect or anything. I was just trying to like just twist it. It idled up a little bit higher, and I said, that's fucking good. We'll just leave it there and tighten that shit down. I actually tightened down my distributor. I've been driving with it fucking loose this whole time. That's why it ran really good, and then it twisted on its own. But now it runs pretty fucking good. I mean, not great, but a lot better than it did. So I was happy about that. I immediately got home. Luckily, my wife's car was unlocked, so I could just reach in there and open up the garage door. Immediately went in. Before I knew I hurt really bad, and if I sat down, I was not going to get back up. So, and I really wanted to listen to my dirt bike, the new muffler that I put on there. So I was like, all right, get home, open up the garage, pull the dirt bike out, and take it up and down the street. And it's still having that. I mean, obviously, it's still having that same problem because I haven't done anything to fix it. Where when it's cold, it like starves itself. I don't know what the hell is going on with it. It might be some sort of a vacuum leak. But I don't even know like what is vacuum operated on this fucking bike. But nothing should be vacuum operated. It should just be good to go. But I hopped on it, fired it right up, and took it up and down the road. But it was like, it wouldn't rev up. It was doing the dun 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 dun. Like it was like about to die. You couldn't give it any throttle, or it would just sound like shit, really. But I got it warmed up finally, and took it around the block a couple of times. And dude, I mean, I don't know. It backfires a fuckload now. So every time you let off the throttle and you're just, decelling, it's just a pop machine. It's just pop, 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 pop. So definitely got to do some tuning. I don't know what that is. Is that rich? Is that lean? Is that too much air? Is it too much fuel? Normally backfiring is, more too much fuel, I think, but I don't know. I haven't talked to anybody. I haven't really looked up any videos or anything, but I need to do something to that carb. I need to actually get in there and start tuning it. My uncle was 100% correct. He said, well, not 100% at this point yet, but he said, I think you're going to need to rejet it if you put that muffler, that free flowing muffler on there. And I was like, it'll be all right. I mean, it runs fine, but it just I mean, it's loud, which I like, but I don't want it to backfire in traffic like that. I don't need it to do that. You know, I'm not one of those guys. I don't want to fucking be backfiring all the time. I like a slight rumble, but I don't want it just going pop, 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 pop every time I let off the fucking throttle. It's gonna get annoying, and it also is telling you that it's not tuned right when it does that. So, anyways, shouldn't be too big of a deal. Other than that, it rode great, and sounded really good once it was warmed up and actually riding under power and whatnot. Sitting there idle, it felt like a totally different bike, really. It was a little bit taller since it's got those big new tires on there. And I don't know, just felt really good. Felt really good. Felt like a motocross bike just about, but I know I haven't been on a motocross bike in so long, so I can't really say that. But before it felt like something that belonged on the road, basically, and now it feels like this is a dirt bike. You know, don't know if it has any more power or less power. I don't know. I haven't did ride it around a little bit, and I did rip on it a little bit, but I wasn't trying to like haul ass through my neighborhood or like do wheelies quite yet. I didn't wear a helmet. I was like, I'm just gonna throw my hat on backwards and rip it up and down the street a couple of times. I'll be nice and gentle on it. And we got a couple of sheriffs that live in a couple of streets behind me and stuff, and I don't need to start getting their attention. But very happy with that. Then I went inside and just died on the couch, until it was bedtime, and then I really knocked the fuck out. And then woke up on time. Everything's good to go. Got to work. Got to hang out. I drove the truck again today because, yeah, like I said, the bike isn't quite road ready, and it was a little rainy still this morning. And I checked the weather because there was a tiny chance I was going to ride the bike, but then I looked at the weather and I was like, nah, not going to do it today. I feel like complete shit. My helmet feels fine, but whenever you add on glasses and it's got those little speakers in there that go to your ears, like it's just like I'm not gonna be happy when I'm riding this thing because it's just gonna hurt my head so bad. Like right now, I'm probably gonna stop recording here in a little bit, and I'll pick it back up because just the headset is still kind of hurting. Just being pressed up against my head, and I could probably flip it around. I guess I could try that real quick, but I don't know. I also don't really want to talk. Moving my mouth up and down, my jaw is just so sore. Everything's sore today still. It felt a lot good, pretty good this morning, but man. And then over here, they go in to get loaded and everything, and then usually they will, because I go in there, I get to the dock door before they do, and I go up in there, go into the dock room or whatever, and I pull my strap and pull my pallet jack out, and I set it off to the side. And almost every single time that I remember from before, the lady would always put my pallet jack in there and put my strap in and then come out and give me my paperwork, and then I just got to pull forward. Not today. I had to go. The guy was like, some other dude was like, "Hey man, your shit's still out of the truck." I'm like, "Yeah, it would have been really cool if you could have just like pushed that 3 feet into my truck and just put the strap on." It's not a. I don't know, but he's still a little shocked at me. Not me, but the old guy that was a real asshole. He's still like scared to touch anything on the truck. I guess I don't know. But I was able to watch a couple of videos and eat my little wrap thing that I brought. It's delicious. Brought my lunch and even ate some tuna too. Had a little tuna on the go or whatever. Good shit. Good lunch. Happy with it. But gonna have to stop right here. There's a truck stop I'm gonna go to. Throw some fuel in the truck and make my way down south. And then offload this. And the way we offloaded it yesterday wasn't too bad. They were thinking about having me go to the working face and dump it on the face, and I already called the office and I said, "Hey, send me up a fucking idiot. Send me somebody who can sit in the cab of my truck and just move it forward a little bit, so I don't have to hop out 9 times to move the truck." So they were sending me a guy, but then the landfill guy, or the guy that I know, called me back. He's like, "Hey, don't worry about it. Just pull down here, and I'll have you dump your totes into the bucket of my loader, and then I'll go put them wherever we want them." And I was like, "Oh, that would actually be great, so I don't have to get somebody to move the truck and everything." And it worked out really good yesterday, and apparently we're going to be able to do that same thing again today. One problem I have with it is, and it's not even a big problem, but I got to shove out, I have to push 4 totes out now. Because I have to push off the first 2, then I can set 2 at the edge, and then I can ram the rest of them, and then the last 2 totes I got to shove off by hand. A little bit of a pain in the ass, but oh well. Still easier than doing it the other way, I guess. But it definitely isn't going to help my back feel any better. Because whenever I'm pushing on them totes, I'm twisting it a little bit. Because I can't just shove it straight out. I have to like push the left side of the tote, then the right side, and then I got to push the left side and twist it. And sometimes the metal will get a little bit hung up, and you got to tilt it and push up on it, and it's just like wrecking my back, man. But I could do it. And like I said, I mean, these totes, I think the average weight of these totes that I'm shoving off by hand is like 2,100 pounds, and that's I'm saying light. That they're usually heavier than that. I I don't want to be too much of a stickler to the people over here that load me, because I'm like, let's just do it how you want to do it and call it good. That's the least stressful way to do it. But I would love it if they would go through all the totes and put the lightest ones at the front of the truck and then the next lightest ones at the very end of the truck. That would be ideal. So then all the heaviest totes would get shoved out by momentum rather than my fucking arms and back and legs and neck and I don't know. Anyways, that's where we're at. I'm gonna pull off to this truck stop and I'll be back at some point in time. Maybe tomorrow morning. Who knows? I'll probably feel pretty good after I take another one of these fucking shots or whatever, but I don't know. Okay, we made it here to the landfill. I have not offloaded yet, but I've taken 2 Aleve, 1 aspirin, 1 Dayquil cold severe clue shot. And I don't know. I was driving southbound on I-35, and I was getting closer. I made it about an hour and a half south. It's a 3-hour drive, so I made it halfway back, and dude, I had to pull over. Which you got to be able to do that. You as a truck driver, you got to know when you need to pull over. My whole face was still hurting super bad, and I was also like super tired. I don't know. I guess I am sick. Luckily, I'm just by myself, so I can be sick. It's fine. But man, I was having a rough go. I had to pull over, close my eyes for 5 minutes, and set a little timer for 5 minutes. Close my eyes, rubbed my face, and then hit the road again. Turned on another podcast, and then I don't know, some of these podcasts. None of the smaller ones. I listened to Stevie V earlier today, and I haven't seen the new Broken Wingnuts come up yet, and I don't know if maybe I already listened to that. I don't know, but I listened to the Stevie V episode. No, it was I don't know, just with this Iran deal, with the war shit going on, which I don't really want to get into. I wanted to. There's this other podcast, the Patrick Bet David. He is Iranian, so I was like, oh, let me. And that was a podcast that I used to follow a little bit, and I deleted it because I was like, I need to get political shit out of my fucking zone. But when this war starts, I was like, all right, well, let me listen to him and see what he's got to say, because I do listen to Dave Smith, and I still agree more with Dave Smith than anybody else politically, and that is no war. We um, don't want war. Don't want to start causing a war. Don't want to fight a war for Israel. I don't know, but whatever. I'm not there fighting it. I'm not there doing it. It's just my tax dollars going to use for it. So what? I don't know. I don't get a say. But anyways, there's a guy on that Patrick. That's where I was going. There's a guy on that Patrick Bet David podcast that I hate his voice so much. I don't know what it is, but I was just like, I can't listen to this shit. Like, this guy's voice is horrible. So I had to. I just started listening to music and whatnot. Did that for a little bit. And that was all after I had pulled over and kind of took a little 5 minute break, because I got to get here to the landfill at a decent time. These guys, I don't know. It's really annoying because the landfill's open till 6, but these motherfuckers at this specific spot inside the landfill leave at 3. I'm like, you fucking got, like, why don't you guys just keep the same hours as the landfill? Like, I can't imagine working at the landfill and it's like, oh yeah, well, I leave at 3. You still got trucks rolling in. So, anyways, I don't know. Just to make my life a little easier, I got to get here before 3. Really need to get here no later than 2, but it's 2:20. Well, it's 2:30 now. But whatever. At least I'm catching them. They'll get a couple of minutes of overtime or whatever. I don't know. Then I had to make some phone calls. I was like, all right, the music isn't doing it, and that's one good way to, I don't know. I have my little ice pack with me, my little ice pack inside my cooler here. I had that. I was rubbing it on my forehead. It would work, I don't know, man. It's just like, dude, and it's all dreary out today too. It's rainy, cloudy, dark. Well, it's not really dark, but it's just like a shitty looking day outside. And now I'm at the landfill. It's full of mud and gunk and shit. But yeah, it's a perfect day to take a nap. I'll tell you that. Taking a nap today, don't even think about it. But no, I rode the dirt bike. Did I already talk about that? Maybe, maybe not. And it's backfiring really bad. So I'm gonna have to. I don't know. Whenever I'm starting to feel pretty good today. Right now, I don't know. It just took a while for all that medicine to really kick in, but um, when I get home today, I guess I will try to fuck with the carburetor a little bit. At least take it off. I got some problems with it, so need to work on that fucking carburetor. My uncle said add a new jet to it. He's like, whatever jet you got in there, bump it up to the next one. And I have a little jet. Well, he just gave me a phone call. All right, well, now I'm ready to offload. Let's see if I'm still in a good mood by the time I'm done offloading. Not so bad. What the fuck is going on here? Hello? Hi. All right, we're good now. Jesus, I'm fogged up too. I'm fogged up after doing that. No, everything went really, really good. Didn't have any problems offloading. I'm still in a good mood. I'm in a little bit of a bad mood. I can't wear my fucking glasses. They're damn fogged up. Oh, I gotta almost fucking released my trailer brakes. I gotta move them axles. I like moving them axles all the way to the very front. Just because cornering is a little bit better. You gotta watch out for your tail swing. Because you got fucking 10-foot overhang before you get to axles, but that ain't a big deal. I'd rather be able to take corners a little bit, not as wide. Especially whenever I'm here in traffic and I gotta take a right hand corner up here and don't wanna. If I had them tandems on my 53 foot all the way at the very rear, I gotta take that motherfucker wide as hell, and I don't want to do that. So after I get done offloading, I'll usually put them all the way to the front. Looks funny. Does not ride very good either. Does not ride very well. Like if it's windy out and you got something blowing on the tail end of your truck, it kind of makes you a little squirrely. But oh well. Anyways, what was I talking about? Dirt bikes? Yeah, so my plan may be today. I don't know. I'm feeling a lot better right now, so maybe I should use that to my advantage. I'm going to drive my pickup truck home. I'm going to go in the garage. First, I got to find my daughter. It's a thing that we do every single day, no matter what time. If I come home, she hides, and I got to go find her. My son used to do it all the time, but now he's like, I'm just going to sit on the couch. My daughter, yesterday, she was in the bathtub. She's hiding in the bathtub. I had to go find her. Sometimes she's in our closet. Sometimes I showed her at one spot, she was hiding from mom. She was, or not mom, but my wife, her mom. She was hiding from her, and I had her get in the cabinet. That was a good hiding spot. She didn't expect that. got her nice and scared. So anyways, go home, find my daughter, rub my son's head, kiss my wife, and then head downstairs to the garage before I get my boots off and my clothes off and all that stuff. Go down there because I'm going to get dirty down there. And I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to take the carb completely off, like I did whenever I had to clean the carb out. I don't know. My uncle was saying you could just twist it sideways and get to the jet, but I might clean the carb out, like do another cleaning of the carb and follow along with a video just so I don't, get lost or whatever. But because I think that the little needle the float needle, I think, is what it might. There might be something still stuck in that because I really wish I could just leave my fuel on all the time. Forgetting to turn it on, forgetting to turn it off. It's a pain in the fucking ass, guys. Um, it's a real pain in the ass. I don't like doing that. I rode it for uh 7 months and didn't have a problem. And before that, I don't think it was a problem either. So I'd like to figure out why the carb is letting fuel go into the oil, even though I might have already fixed it last time I messed with the carburetor, but just dig in a little bit deeper this time. I don't know. On that float, there's these little metal tabs and things, and I'm like, I guess you're supposed to bend those open to get to that little needle. I don't know. I don't want to fuck with it. Or pop the float off, and then the needle is attached to the float, and then it'll come out with it. I'm not sure, but make sure that's cleaned up and all good. And then if that is, then I should be able to leave the fuel on at all times. Obviously, if I'm going to park the bike for a while, I'll probably do that, but or shut it off. But if I'm just, I'll actually run until she dies. Is what I'll do if I park it for a extended period of time. Get that carb completely emptied. But if I'm riding it every day, which I soon will be, I want to be able to just leave the fuel on because it sucks whenever you're riding and then you fucking forgot to turn the fuel back on and it starts to die and then you gotta figure out what you're doing, and usually that's about the time I'm getting on the highway. And it's like I'm ripping it to get on the highway and it's dying. It's like, fuck, dude. All right, we're gonna need a little bit of defrost going, I guess. I'm steaming this motherfucker up. 18 totes. Not one of them was less than 2,000 pounds. They were all right at 2,000 or up to 2,400 pounds. So they're heavy. All right, we got to roll the window down to be able to see. There we go. Clear traffic my way. And then I'm gonna pull out the jet kit and look at what jets I have. Maybe try to find somebody that's got the similar situation where they already got the airbox mod and the jet kit and muffler and whatnot, and see if I can kind of match his carb specs with my kit and put it all back together. And also, I guess you got to drill out from the factory, but I can't believe this one hasn't been drilled out yet. But they usually put a little brass plug at the idle air, or not the idle air, but the fuel air mixture screw. They put a little plug. They put the screw in, they put it to a certain spot, and then they put a little brass plug in there from the factory, so you don't mess with it. I haven't looked at the carb enough, I guess, to see if that is the case. My uncle seems to think it's the case, but I'm like, if somebody cut a big hole in the air box, they did something to it. And there's a jet kit. Something's happened here. So otherwise, I guess I will be drilling out that little plug so I can get to the screw mixture adjusting screw, and then I will probably order another screw. Or it's got like it's got a little rough thing, so you can turn it by hand or whatever. But you're only supposed to turn that thing like 1.5 times or 2 times or something. So you're not adjusting it a whole bunch, but you might want to be able to get it right to the same spot. And then I don't know. The problem with that is I'm gonna have to warm up the bike, but maybe I'll find a problem that why it's running like shit whenever it's cold. It's weird that it runs like so bad, like you can't give it throttle, and then all of a sudden it's fine. So maybe I'll find another culprit in there that is causing it to do that. And if I'm feeling real froggy, since I'm already going to have like a bunch of shit taken off the bike, I could probably check my valve clearances and obviously follow along to a video to that, because I don't know what I'm doing. Make sure you got to get the engine to the correct stroke to fucking do that. I don't know. But anyways, that's right on top. If I take the tank off, which I guess that's what I'm going to do today, just so I have a lot more room to look at the carb and get it in and out and everything. I'll be taking that off. The airbox and the little airbox tube, I'm going to leave that shit alone, because that thing, it's not, I don't know, it's a little bit of a pain in the ass to put back, but it's also not that bad. I've always got it in there pretty quickly and easily. But maybe I'll look up the procedure for cleaning a K&N air filter, because that's what it's got. It's got a K&N air filter on it, so maybe I will actually go clean it, because last time I just blew some air through it and put it back in there. I was like, whatever. And then, is there anything else I wanted to do to the bike tonight? Maybe an oil change. I got an oil change, but I also want to confirm. I want to make sure that fuel. I don't want to do an oil change and then immediately have to do another one because fuel went in the oil or whatever. So, might hold off on that and test it out. Let it sit, because this is oil that I was supposed to change a while back. I do have enough oil for one more, like, not quite up to par oil change. It's not like the Suzuki oil. That Suzuki oil is kind of expensive, so don't want to just put a brand new oil change in it and then it fucking flood again. So unless I find something, unless I see something in there, I just don't know, man. It's got to be so minute or minute, or I don't know, super small, because otherwise it would just, even riding the bike, it would probably flood itself, right? It would. I don't know. Maybe that's got something to do with how much oil and shit is getting into the air box. Even though the air box, it's got like a little drain tube with a cap on it, and I just left the cap off. I just took the cap off, and I was like, you know what? Let it just drip as it goes. Instead of filling up my air box, I'd rather just let it drip. If it's only going to do like a couple of drops when it's running, who gives a shit if I'm dripping like a couple of drops of oil? Now, if it was profusely dumping oil out, that's not good. That's going right onto my rear tire. If I'm riding my bike and I get a little dump of oil right onto my rear tire, that's no good. That's super dangerous. So maybe that's why is it. Well, they put a plug on there so you can drive it through water, but I don't know. I would need to redo those, like figure out some other type of snorkel system, which would be really cool, because I would like to be able to like ride it in a creek and not have to worry about going too deep. But also I'm not looking to fucking go snorkeling on my DR 650. But there was where around our shop it floods, and I took the DR through one of the floods and it did just fine. But we had an F-150 or F-250 drive through the flood, and apparently he sucked up a fuckload of water and he ruined that engine. Well, mainly because it flooded out and then he tried to restart it. And, once you suck all that water up into the engine block, it gets into where the piston, because it's pulling air like it's water, or pulling water like it's air, and it puts it right into the cylinders. And whenever you crank it, and that's a nice newer truck. It's got so much compression, being a diesel, that it will bend shit. Like your piston is compressing the water, but instead of just compressing it and having combustion like diesel, it's just bending shit, fucking it all up because it's not correct, So I don't know. Actually, I don't know, but that's what my bike was doing. Based on what I think, that's what my bike was doing with gas. Whenever I first got the what did I do? What was I doing to the bike? And I just got it finished, and I pulled it out to go ride it, and it wouldn't fucking start. I had to charge up the battery. What the fuck was I doing? I was like, oh, I'm finally gonna ride it. I don't know. Forget what I was doing to it that day. Or I just no, I don't know what the fuck I did, man. No, I was doing something to the bike, like something severe to the bike, and then I pulled it out to ride it, and it wouldn't fucking start, and it was like acting like it was hydrolocking, which it most likely was. And then I had to clean the carb and do the air filter and whatnot. I talked about it on the podcast. You guys probably know my life better than me by now. My memory's bad. That's why I got to do these every day. So whenever I forget, hey guys, where did I put my fucking keys? You guys would know better than I would. Got a school bus letting the kids out. But yeah, sounds like I got a little bit more work to do to the bike. I mean, it'll fire up and it'll run and it'll ride right now. It's just so fucking loud when it pops, and I don't want it to backfire. And that house burned down. That's crazy. It was a big ass house and it fucking burnt. The whole roof is gone. You guys can't see it. House fires are fucking scary, man. I got fire extinguishers everywhere. I got 2 of them in the garage. I got 1 of them in the kitchen. I got 1 of them in the laundry room. I was just like, I want to have enough. And then we have a fire blanket. Also, my mom got us. It's like a fiberglass blanket or whatever, and it's sitting right above the kitchen sink in like a pull tab bag or whatever. It doesn't really match the decor of dirty dishes and random shit on the counters, but it's got some tabs. If you have a fire, you just pull the tabs down. It'll unfold the blanket. Supposed to unfold the blanket for you, and then you can just throw that blanket on whatever fire, and it will, I guess, kind of melt to the fire and starve it of oxygen or something. I don't know. But my mom said, don't take it out of the bag unless there's a fire. So I'm going to leave it alone until then, and hopefully it'll work. I don't know. But if it's going to be melting to all my shit around the house, I'd rather just use a fucking fire extinguisher I got sitting right next to the trash can. But yeah, I don't know, man. You guys, I don't know. My just PSA of the day is get a couple fire extinguishers in your house. Make sure you got one like in the kitchen and maybe one in the garage or in the laundry room, or at least somewhere where you'll know where it's at. Because I mean, if you need a fire extinguisher, you need a fire extinguisher. You don't want to be looking for one or have to like dig through shit to get to it. You want to be able to have that shit accessible and available at a moment's notice. And also check them out. Don't test them. I made that mistake. My old square body Chevy I used to have, my 78 square body Chevy. I went to O'Reilly's and I bought a little 5 pound, I think it was 5 pound, fire extinguisher for automotive. And I was going to mount it behind my seat. And in the parking lot, I just opened it up and I just did a little quick just to see if it would work. And it did. And then I threw it behind the seat. I never mounted it. I never tried to test it again. And there came a time where I thought I might need the fire extinguisher for something. I forget what I needed it for. But I took it out and I was just going to fuck with my buddies and I was going to spray it. And it didn't do anything. It did absolutely nothing. I was like, what the fuck? And they're like, oh, that's a dead fire extinguisher. I was like, I tested it when I bought it. And they're like, you can't test those things. I'm like, huh? Like, yeah, you can't test them. You dumbass. You can't test them. That's a one-time use fire extinguisher. I guess the bigger ones are multi-use, and you can spray a little, like half of it, and then it'll still be good. Maybe, I don't know. If you have to use a fire extinguisher or you use one at all, you gotta like take it and get it recertified or something. And I guess the fire department can do that for you. Maybe, I'm not sure. Um, I do have a big ass pack of fire smoke detectors inside my house that I bought them off Amazon. Dude, for how much I bought this 10 pack of smoke detectors for, it was worth it in D cell batteries. Because they each came with a battery. I was like, damn, I think it was like $10 for 10 smoke detectors, and they all came with good batteries. And I was like, damn, dude. So, but my house is kind of weird, and I've talked about it before, but the previous owners or somebody had the fire smoke detectors mounted in the house and hardwired. So when one of them goes off, they all go off. And they also had batteries, and it was a nightmare. One night, one of them was beeping, and I was like, oh, I'll just take the battery out. So I got up on a chair and I took the battery out, and then every smoke detector in the house started beeping or going off. I was like, what the fuck, man? And so I went through and I ripped a bunch of them down because they were hardwired in, and I had to rip them down and take the batteries out of them. And now, it kind of looks like shit now because everywhere there was one, I have a new one that's just battery operated sitting next to them because I don't like that. I don't. First off, if you got your smoke detector going off, you want to know where it's going off. And if all of your fucking smoke detectors are going off, dude, it's like a nightmare situation. You're like, where the fuck is it? Is it upstairs? Is it in the bedrooms? Is it in the kitchen? Is it in the downstairs? Is it in the garage? Like, where the fuck is it? They're all going off. So I prefer just the battery powered ones. Could have left me a little bit more room, you dumb fuck. Anyways, luckily I had them tandems pushed all the way forward. Damn, I wouldn't have made that corner at all if I had them tandems at the back. But anyways, yes, I prefer those, and you can get them off Amazon. I don't know. This was years ago when I got them, but you're supposed to you're supposed to like set a date, like a memorable date, and every year on that date, you're supposed to go swap out all the batteries or test them or something like that. I've never done that, but I don't know. The safety guy in me is going to tell you guys to do that, but I'm a hypocrite because I ain't going to go fucking do that shit. I'm like, if they're battery powered, they're going to start beeping when it gets low voltage. So we're good. Other than that, I'm going to expect them to work. And don't paint them either. A lot of people paint over them. It's like, don't. It says right there on the fucking thing, don't paint these. But anyways, that's about all I got for you guys for today. Adios. Keep all 18 down. We're going to talk to you again real soon. I mean, I'm doing this run all week long, and I am going to need to get some shit off my chest. And I'll be back tomorrow, probably, with something. Probably carburetor talk, if you're into that sort of thing. Adios. Bye-bye.